Good evening. Whoop, one moment. Good evening. K9PQ, stand by please. Okay, again, this is K9PQ, and welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. This net meets weekly, twice a week, Wednesday evenings and Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. on this CTAC repeater to coordinate our net, which takes place on 440 uplink, 1.2 gig downlink video. So with that, let me get myself ready here and we'll get some check-ins. Excuse me. Okay, let's have check-ins, please. N7QO. I hear Jim. Is anyone else around? Just come on ahead.
KD7QKU with N7KC. And Bob, if I got it. K9PQ, KD7QKU. I can't control the repeater either. I got it on the ID and I couldn't get it to go anyplace else, and I had a hard time turning the ID off, but I finally got it turned off. So it works fine, but you just can't control it. KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron. Well, I'm still seeing the ID on the streaming, but on 1.2 you're not seeing it? Okay, and your sound is very, very rough. Maybe you could switch to a different antenna. I know you get the intermod sometimes. Okay, we've got N7QO, Jim, KD7QKU, Ron, and N7KC Lee. Anyone else? Okay, Jim, take it away.
N7QO. Okay, I saw something. I looked away for just a second. I'm not sure, but I think it was Gary. I'm trying to transmit a picture right now, but I don't see anything. So, Gary, if that's you, go ahead and transmit again now. Transmit a picture while I'm on, because I can't see me. Yeah, that looks like Gary there. Okay, so Gary's checking in as well. Okay, the idea is up now, and my picture is kind of overlaying the idea. Well, now my picture is not there at all. The idea is now gone. Yeah, I've given up trying to look at the streaming. I don't know. We've got some problems here, but anyway, for right now, back to you, Bob. Good to hear from you. K9PQ and 7QO.
Okay, well, yeah, I saw Gary there as well. He did come through streaming. I did not see you. This is the same as it was Saturday, where I'm pretty sure it was you that reported you were seeing your signal overlaid on streaming. Oh, there's Ron. Ron's signal is there. So let's go to Ron, K7QKU. This is K9PQ in the WatsNet. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. I hope I sound better. I did switch to my other antenna. K9PQ in the group. This is KD7QKU. Well, I was just talking to Jim, N7Q, on the phone, and he said it was trying to snow at his house. And I looked out the window towards the street light, and be darned if it isn't trying to snow at my house. So there's snowflakes coming down out here. So anyway, I'm sick and tired of this cold weather. Oh my golly. I went for a walk around the block today. It was a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday was just miserable. it was about, 39 degrees, and there was a wind blowing. And, your face was numb and your ears were numb when you came back in. I don't go very far, but it doesn't take very long. So anyway, yeah, I was just saying, I tried to turn the repeater on hard tonight, and then I tried to switch it over to the camera inside, and I couldn't do that. It just had the identification page up, and then I tried half a dozen times to get the identification page to come down. Finally, it came down, so whatever's wrong with it. Jim was saying maybe there's something happened to the receive antenna for that, the control receive antenna. Who knows? But anyway, I guess somebody, maybe Lee will tell Rob. We were talking about it. All right, Lee, are you ready? Are you hooked up? Are you hooked up to Echolink? Oh, okay, so I'll have to hold the microphone. Okay, here we go. All right, go ahead.
All right, well, this is N7KC in Port Angeles, Lee here, and I'm on courtesy of the Echolink. At least it says it's not connected for me. I can't get into it. And so Ron's got holding the mic up to the Skype machine, so I can get some audio in, hopefully. Anyway, so I'll keep it short. Glad to be here, and looking at my streaming video, and it's wonderful. And I would really like to know how fast it is. So let me get, while Ron's doing this, let me get I'm going to hold my finger up. There we go. Fingers over, start the stopwatch. Okay, 6 seconds latency for me tonight. I have seen it as short as about 1.5 seconds, but 6 is pretty good. I have nothing else to say except Rob and Corey were going to go up and work on the repeater last Sunday, but then there was a change of plans toward the end and they didn't go. And the control receiver, Rob said, is very deaf right now. He can't control it either from his place. So he's aware of it, and they want to get up there and spiff up the streaming part of it. Corey's got some new stuff cooking and whatnot, so I'm sure they'll do it as soon as possible. With that, I'll send it back to, hi, Bob and Jim. Let's see, and Gary's on there too, so how did you fellas? I'll send it back to Ned. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles, and back to Ron.
Okay, back to Bob, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, whatever you guys are doing, the sound is excellent. The problems that we had, it's been months ago now, when Lee, you weren't coming through Ron's system very well, those are in the past. You sound really good. So, and also with the using your finger to do the timing, it would help if you told us what you were doing so we could also check our timing. But I'll do that when I come up as well. On we go to Gary, K7HYB. Go ahead, Gary.
Good evening, all. K9PQ, K7HYB. Good evening, all to the group. And I guess I'll turn the, whoa, man. Okay, latency. Let's see what's happened here. It was pretty close. Now it's about 5 seconds, so I kind of go along with Lee there. Pretty much on that. And let's see if I got a strong enough signal to key the transmitter tonight on the with the picture with my camera. And yeah, okay, got that one. I'll give you the mug shot here, the glasses and all. Yeah, quiet day today. I went out and got my back adjusted, and I have a drop-in I had a customer, a repair customer, drop in a couple of sets today, so I'm back working on equipment again, which is kind of nice. And there we go. Whoa! Wow. Yeah, I don't know what's working here. I'm trying to find a combination. There we go. All right. Well, I seem to be on and off. After our initial indication the other night where we had problems with it, I played around with it a little bit, and I was able to control the system from my location without too much trouble. I cycled through the different inputs and had no issues, and I could key it on and off at leisure. My signal didn't do a very good job, but the control link worked pretty good. So I don't know. Apparently, maybe something else has happened up there. It's hard to say. But I've been rather interested in trying to keep the link open between me and the repeater as far as the control link is concerned. So I tested a couple of times a week just to make sure that it's still working. Anyway, the weather out here is cool. I would say it's probably in the mid-30s over tropic here. I would say it was probably in the mid-30s, something like that. And I haven't seen any snow. I might take a quick trip, walk out and see if there is some snow out here. If you guys are experiencing some of that there, it's hard to see. Maybe I'm having the same problem. I don't know. But I can see that my picture is not coming through. So I'll turn the call sign back on again, just to give that something to do. And let's see if my call sign comes back up again. I don't see it yet. There it is. But it's really snowy. Man, and I turned the antenna today, too. I noticed it was pointing in the wrong direction, so I had to turn it off. Anyway, I'm not holding the repeater very well here. So I'll unkey it, turn it off. I'll shift it back to you, Bob. And again, good evening, everybody. We'll listen to go around, and I wonder if James is going to show up there. K9PQ, K7H1B.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Gary. And yeah, I saw your signal, and it was also a little hard to try and guess the timing, but it sounds like I might have an extremely short delay, like a second or two, unless I misjudged what you were saying about various things coming and going. So, especially, yeah, that would be something if that's the case. After what Lee said, I'm not even trying to control the repeater tonight, so I'm not trying to change it to streaming to put my signal up there. I think I'm just going to just be net control tonight, and that'll be fine with me. So yes, I've spoken briefly with Rob about some of the changes we've got planned. There's some minor things that I'm going to help provide, which is just some cabling, and so we should have some improvements with our internet, even over. Well, I don't know how much improvement, but it'll be a good change in general and planning for the future. We can talk more about it Saturday at the meeting. This Saturday is our meeting, and my place 10 a.m. So look forward to seeing whoever can make it. Well, with that, let me pause and see if we have any more check-ins. This is Bob, K9PQ, Net Control this evening for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Anyone out there?
Good evening, Bob, WW7ATS. Connected, WU7N.
Very good, James. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and take your turn? I'm adding you to the list. Go right ahead.
good evening, everyone. I've been on Echolink since 8 a.m. I found it interesting. Echolink did not announce me, so I was bugging everyone. But anyway, it announced me now. That's good. I was out delivering some paperwork for my planned unit development, and it was just absolutely snowing like crazy out there, with a really hard crystalline ice indicating that the winds aloft are well below freezing. However, out my back door right now it's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. So hopefully it will not stick. The forecast for Bellevue, city of Bellevue proper, is it's not even supposed to get to be freezing until 3 or 4 a.m. So I don't know. It kind of depends on how much comes down and how fast, although the National Weather Service says there's a 60% chance of precipitation. And they're covering themselves with less than an inch of an accumulation tonight. I don't think they really know what it's going to be, but if you're slipping and sliding around in the morning, even at this point, I would say be very, very careful, because there's going to be ice out there. Because it's not going to warm up fast enough for the morning commute, which is going to be devastating if there's not obvious snow, because everyone's going to jump into their car and try and drive down the road like normal. So be cautious, everybody out there. Other than that, I have noted that our repeater has been having a lot of personality issues, but I try to give it a lot of slack, given the weather and the temperature and such going on up there. If anybody's going up there, let me know, and I'll try to get up there. I will probably not be able to make the meeting on Saturday, but Ron and I already talked, so I think we're covered on that. So with that, let me pass it back to Net Control Bob. This is James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue on Echolink.
Very good, James. Thanks for joining, and nice to hear you in there tonight. Yeah, we've been talking a bit about. It looks like we've got some control issues on the repeater, but we're getting signals in very well. Is there anyone else that would like to join the net tonight? This is Bob, K9PQ, for the Watts Net.
K9PQ, K7HYB.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, let me try turning on the streaming from my location here, see if it works.
Why don't you wait till it comes back around to my turn, Gary?
Okay, no problem. I just saw that offer too. Like I said, I've had pretty good luck communicating with the control side of the repeater. So, back to you, K9PQ, K7HYB.
Okay, thanks. I do appreciate it, and we'll give it a try. But for now, let's go back to the top of the list to Jim and 7QO. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob, and 7QO. Okay, I'm transmitting. I do see a little something on the 1.2 gigahertz signal coming back, but it's just less than a P1. I can tell there's a video signal there, but I can't even make out that it's like an Alfred Hitchcock thing. It's just it's pretty sad. Don't know if anything's coming through the streaming. I suspect not. But yeah, we were talking about the weather. Today was a pretty nice day here. But as I walked out to the shack a half hour ago or so, there are some small snowflakes gently falling down. It was 38 degrees when I came here. Now I'm showing 37 degrees, so the temperature is coming down just a tiny bit. I actually still have some snow on the ground from earlier. In particular, it's around the sides of the driveway where I shoveled and piled the snow out of the way. It hasn't gone away in spite of the rain and in spite of a lot of warm temperatures. And we even had 2 days where we had at least a little bit of sun out there. It's, I guess, a little unusual quantity for this part of the country. And I don't remember who said you got your back fixed, reset. But I kind of need my back fixed too. It's still sore from shoveling. Having said that, I kind of do a little bit of unusual stuff. I live on a cul-de-sac, and I shovel out the entire cul-de-sac, not anyone else's driveways, but just the cul-de-sac, and that way I don't track any of the snow and whatnot into my garage. But this year was a little different. The first snowfall, first time I shoveled, I did the whole cul-de-sac. The second time, I only did about half of the cul-de-sac. The third and fourth time, I only did maybe a third of the cul-de-sac. I guess I'm not as young as I used to be, and my back is still telling me that I should not do that again. So, I don't know. If we got more snow around here, I'd get a serious snow removal device rather than just a plain ordinary shovel. But I never used those when I was younger, but I guess I'm not younger anymore. Jim, thanks for the warning about the roads. Yeah, I didn't catch the forecast for overnight, but I'm sure I live on a hill here, and there are cars that tend to go through a fence at the bottom of the hill. And in fact, the fellow who lives down there has 2 sections of fence still removed from cars that went down the hill and went through his wooden fence just a month ago or whenever it was that snowfall came. So, yeah, we have problems with our hill here, but c'est la vie. K9PQ and 7QO.
Okay, Jim. Yeah, that's something you need to be careful about for sure. I did not see anything coming over streaming that indicated any kind of signal over the top of what I'm getting right now, which is the ID page. So on we go to Ron, Ron and Lee, KD7QKU and N7KC. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Bob. And the rest of the group, this is KD7QKU. Well, Jim, I'm the same way. I just dropped down to 37.9. I was at 38 a while back, and I can't see the street light from where I'm sitting, so I don't know if it's still snowing here or not. As some of you may or may not know, I've been in the process of trying to move our checking account over to a different bank, and the bank told me we need to do a little bit more before we can do that. And so, Bob, maybe I'll give you a call either after the net or tomorrow or something, and we can talk about it just a bit, because we'll have to have a discussion about it at the meeting and make some changes, I think. So anyway, make just a little bit of change. So anyway, what else is going on? Let me see. We drove through the tunnel on Sunday afternoon. I don't know if any of you have been through the new tunnel, but it's really, really nice, and they made it so you can get right in from down by Safeco Field. So we always got on the viaduct by going straight down I-90, and then you go across I-5, and if you go right, you end up on 4th Avenue, and if you go left, you end up on, I don't know, Atlantic Street or something. I don't know what it is, tell you the truth. So anyway, we would go between Safeco Field and the parking garage on the south side of Safeco Field. You come to that stoplight, and you'd be into the lane going straight ahead, and you'd go straight ahead about a block, and then you take a right, and you'd go up on the viaduct. Well, they made the road much better, and there's no lights or anything. You just go right into the tunnel. Really slick. And then Royal Brome Avenue comes out, and there is a light or a stop sign, and then, no, there's just a stop sign, I think. And then they can get in the same on-ramp to get into the tunnel. And then you go through the tunnel. It's very, very nice. You don't realize that you're way below the city. It just takes 2 or 3 minutes, and then you're over on the other end, and you're near the Seattle Center. So you take Republican Street to exit. And when you exit, I don't know, we did not do that, but you exit, you come to some street, and if you go left, you go to Mercer Way, and if you go right, you go to Denny Way. So you're between Mercer and Denny when you come out. So it's going to work really, really nice, I think. The only thing bad about it is eventually we're going to have to pay. But for us, I think, we go to Rock Club and Ballard and stuff, it would be much faster than I think the viaduct. It just...
Okay, here's the story. Mario, KD6ILO down in San Diego area. I've been chatting with him underneath the underneath the stream, but my chat just quit. And anyway, so Mario was trying to get in on Echolink. I told him that James was on. And I tried to get on after James did, and I cannot do it, and Mario cannot do it. But Mario was commenting on how nice Ron's picture is, and his audio is good too. So he must be hearing audio over the stream, because I don't think he has any other way to do it since he's not into Echolink. So anyway, and I just typed him a nice sentence here telling him a bunch of stuff, and I can't send it. So I don't know, I need to somehow reset my chat. Anyway, it put that on me. So if Mario can hear that, I'll work on that. And let's see, it's not snowing here, but boy, it's certainly at a temperature where it could. We're supposed to get down, well, one app says 27, the other says 28 tonight. So we'll see. That's the way it was last night. We got down to, I think it was 27 and so forth. Oh, now Mario says his Echolink is working. Okie doke. Well, then he's hearing that. I thought.
No, I can't hear you, Lee. Lee, I can't hear you. We lost Lee's audio on Skype. I don't know what happened. I can see his lips moving, but I don't hear him.
Yeah, and apparently he can't hear you either. Ron, go ahead.
He wasn't looking at me either. So we couldn't hear you, Lee, for some reason at the end there. All right, let's go back to that. Oh, and Mario, if you're listening down there in California, maybe you didn't know, but Seattle built this new tunnel from the south end of Seattle to the north end of Seattle, and they're tearing the viaduct down. So they're not going to have any viaduct down there on the waterfront anymore. So that's going to all go away. They're in the process of taking it down now. All right, back to net, KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron, and just to let you know, you did time out when you were doing your transmission, but we got most of it. We lost a little bit at the end. But yeah, I should get down through there in the tunnel while it's still free. Okay, on we go to Gary, K7HYB, and Gary, I'm after you, so you can go ahead and do your switching at the end of your turn. Go ahead, Gary.
K9PQ, K7HYB. I took a quick walk out to the back porch here while you guys were talking to take a look and see what's happening out here. I don't see anything as far as snow is concerned.
up here where I'm at, and I'm almost at 500 feet where I'm at out here. So if we're going to get it, if it's headed this way, we're more likely to get than anybody else. The current temperature is about 37 degrees with about 59% humidity. That's what my weather station tells me. And it got down to 27 last night. And I suspect it'll probably get down that cold tonight again. It was a bit on the chilly side. And it was a nice day as far as the sun was concerned, but it was cold out there. It was really, really fuzzy. Let me see. I've got my transmitter turned on here. Let me put the call sign up here. And I'll try switching over here when I switch over and see if I can't. I'm going to try hard keying the transmitter first, if that happens. Okay, something happened here. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, looks like the transmitter is hard keyed. That's interesting. Okay. So that's all I've got. Pretty much all I've got coming from this end here. Let me drop it for a second. And I've been trying to get some work done on my business. And so between one thing and another, it was a busy day for me. We went shopping yesterday, and went out to dinner out to Angel of the Winds, and came back. And Carol went bowling today, and I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll figure something out, I'm sure. Anyway, back to you there, Bob, and I'll try keying up the transmitter. I'll try switching the input here for the streaming. K9PQ, K7HYV.
Okay, thanks, Gary. Well, I saw Gary's signal, and let's see, and I just heard him keying up the repeater to switch to streaming. We'll see if that works. So yeah, no snow here either. It sounds like in general, don't want to generalize too much, but for the last several days, it sounds like they've been talking about this thing coming up from the south and hitting the south more than the north, and that seems to be the case again tonight. So one time when it's actually good to be in the so-called convergence zone, which is where I am. I guess I just heard another attempt by Gary. Oh, there we go. I see myself streaming. Okay, so I'm going to do the counting test myself here. Let's see. Get this on camera. Ah, there we go. I'm facing the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to have to watch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, about 6 seconds maybe for myself on streaming. Let's see. Let me break for a moment.
You don't see on 1.2, Bob.
Okay, thanks, Ron. Well, that's interesting because I'm seeing myself on the outbound streaming, so I'm not sure. We've seen that before, but I don't know if we ever knew exactly why, and I sure don't remember if we did know what it was. Okay, well, we've got a little funny things happening tonight on our net. And I've kind of run out of things to say for this round, so let me send it on to James, WU7N, and Mario will pick you up after James. Go ahead, James. Oh, this is K9PQ for ID. Go ahead, James.
Okay, audio check here, Bob. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. You sound good. Okay, well, I'm on a handheld transmitter right now. For some reason, stand by. Echo Link, I can receive and hear what people are saying, but I cannot transmit on Echo Link. I'm on handheld with the J-pole hung in the window, so if that's working tonight, that's a good thing. And I'm seeing on streaming right now a picture of the shack up on Cougar Mountain. Bob, I do not see you on 1.2 gigahertz streaming. Ron, your signal, as always, is superb. Video signal, that is superb, and your audio is very readable. Whatever you did, it was a problem, or at the very first start of the net. Anyway, I was reading about adiabatic lapse rate. Gary, you said you were at 500 feet. I'm about at the same altitude. And I guess it's about 2 degrees centigrade per 1,000 feet, or about at 1 degree per 500 feet centigrade. So I think there should be some white stuff on the ground by morning, because I was looking at the radar, and not only do we have a patch coming in within an hour or two at the most, it looks like there's more to the south-southwest, and it is rotating this direction. What's going on with Echo Link, but anybody, Lee, and there was another gentleman, I think, in California listening tonight on Echo Link. You guys, I guess you can hear us, but we can't hear you. Don't know why. I tried to send some text messages to Lee. I don't know if those got through Echo Link or not. Well, anyway, it's going to be an interesting morning for me, because there is a big communications conference at the King County Emergency Operations Center tomorrow from 9:30 to 12:30. I don't know if any of you guys are going to that or not. If it's frozen solid tomorrow and white stuff all over the place, I guess I won't be going either, unless it clears up substantially by 9:30. Well, anyway, that's the weather talk from Northeast Bellevue here. This is James, Whiskey Uniform 7 November, WW7N, using the... Go ahead, Bob. Okay, well, we got a strange noise, one I haven't heard before. I don't know if it's an Echo Link timeout. You didn't ever cut off, but I heard a beep-boop, beep-boop, beep-boop. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So I don't know what the cause of that was, but nice to hear you, James. And yeah, it's a shame we can't hear Lee. We'll see if we do hear Mario. We'll give him a chance here. This is Bob, K9PQ. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. And Mario, why don't you give it a shot there on Echo Link? Let's see if we can hear you. Okay, well, negative copy. So, with that, let's go back up to the top. And Jim, N7... Oh, well, let me first ask, is there anyone else that would like to join the net tonight? We do have someone on our chat on YouTube, besides Mario, that has an interest. But anyone that would like to join us on the CTAC repeater tonight for our WattsNet? Okay, on we go to Jim, N7QO. Go ahead, Jim.
N7QO. Thank you, Bob. Well, Gary, thank you for turning on the repeater there. I can see myself a little bit better now. I'd give it a solid P1. Maybe even a P2 on the 1.2 anyway. Don't know if anything's coming through on the streaming. Maybe once I stop yakking, someone else can let me know if they see anything from me on the stream. Mario, good to hear from you again. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. You've probably been on the net here a couple times when I've been off at work or something. So I'm not exactly sure how long it's been. Curious if you're going to come back to this area. I know you were pretty active in emergency services up here, or then I guess you moved down to Tacoma, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're having some minor problems with the television repeater here. It's been a particularly difficult winter here in the Pacific Northwest, and I think that's also been a source of problems for a number of us. A lot of us are really happy to have the snow disappear, and it hasn't quite gone completely away. Mostly, yes, but not completely. And ice is a big problem for several of us with the hills around here. Yeah, Lee, we can hear you just fine. Ron, we can hear you just fine. Reset. And, okay, that's reset. Mario, there's no courtesy tone on our 2-meter repeater here. That's having some minor problems as well. But it's been a rough year for us. But I don't know. Back to you, Bob, and 7QO.
Okay, Jim. Well, thank you. And there have been some positives. Our internet streaming has improved, and we moved to a new building, which allowed us to clean a lot of things up in our installation. Okay, let's move on to Ron, KD7QKU, and the WattsNet from K9PQ. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, K9PQ in the group, KD7QKU. Well, let's see. I don't have too much to say either. Last night at this time it was 31 degrees. It's dropping. It's 37.4 now. But it's not snowing. My wife was just down to the store and came home. Said the street was wet, but it wasn't snowing. So anyway, what else is going on? Not too much. I don't know if Ken W1KLG is there or not, but he did send us a check for dues. So, and his address is the same, so I guess he's still in the area. It's too bad he sold his equipment. But if he's listening and he wants some more equipment, I think we could fix him up. I have another station, and I think Dave has another station. And we may get that stuff from Tacoma. Mario, if you can hear us. Oh man, let's see. What was his name? I forgot his name. Anyway, a gentleman that you know, I'm sure, died in Tacoma. And he had a repeater, something that you probably built. Anyway, he was a motorcycle policeman in Tacoma, probably retired. Anyway, he passed away. And he was going to give us that other repeater, and he was going to give us his station. And so maybe we'll get it someday from his heirs. It sounds like we will. It sounds like they're in favor of doing that, but I just don't know when it'll happen. Richard's not on here tonight, K7ITX. He hasn't said any more about it, but I know he's in contact with those guys. All right, let's go over to Mr. Lee and see if they have snow in Port Angeles.
Okay, very good. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Oh, my goodness. My. Ron has just outstanding video on the stream. And so he what he's doing, he's scan converting his TV screen to a scan converter into an NTSC signal. And then that goes to the transmitter in his place and then up to the repeater on Cougar. So we have a listener. We've got, Mario is here. And we have a fellow by the name of Thomas who lives up in Snohomish, who I've been chatting with on the chat here, underneath the stream screen. Some of you may be seeing that. Mario and I have been talking, and Thomas chimed in. He would really like to do this. He lives in Snohomish, and he does not have a ham license, but he says he's going to work on it and get it. And he wanted the rough cost of doing it and so forth. And Mario reports that he just built 2 new digital ATV repeaters. He says it was a 2-year project. It's in test and evaluation at this time. DVB-T and DVB-S/S2 using 6-meter, 13-centimeter, 23-centimeter, and 70-centimeter. And he said he designed a new repeater digital matrix controller. And also Thomas wants to know, is that Ballard Rock Club? Someone mentioned the NSLMC. So I don't know.
Yes, it is the Ballard Rock Club.
Okay, well, all right. Thomas, Ron in Eastgate is a member of the Ballard Rock Club. And Mario just says 6 centimeters. So, using 6 centimeters. I was reading off of his post here. Okay, I don't have anything else except, Bob, your digital video is outstanding. Very, very nice. And I still can't get in via Echolink. So, and Mario, he dropped out too because he can't get in now. And I lost my audio because my headset batteries ran down. I didn't notice it, so I'm plugged in now to the cord. Anyway, N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Back to Ned.
Okay, well, very good, Lee. Yeah, good signals from you and Ron both, as usual. And as I say, the audio, especially from you, coming via Skype via Ron, is coming through very nicely. Okay, this is Bob, K9PQ. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, and thanks for the updates, Lee. I was also following the comments a little bit, but I had to pay attention to other things, so I didn't read all of it, and that's very interesting about the digital ATV repeaters that Mario has done. I'll be interested to hear about that. Okay, on we go to Gary, K7HYB. Go ahead, Gary.
K9PQ, K7HYB. Let me see how long it takes to come up here. The repeater is hard keyed. I turned it on. So, hello? Okay. There I am. Not a very good signal, but I'm not seeing anything on the downlink side on 1.2. Not anywhere near the signal quality I was having earlier when we had the snow. I still have a little bit of snow in my driveway out here, mostly piled up like Jim. I shoveled it out and cleaned the driveway out so my wife and I could both get into the, get in and out of the driveway. But that's kind of the way things go, you know. Yeah, I did my back a number 2 because I had to get out. It just had to be the way it goes. And the latency seems to have gotten a little better. Well, okay. I've seen my signal come in better than that. I'm a little bit disappointed that it's not working better, but my antenna may have turned a little bit on me. It's not really nailed down. It's just on a tripod in my backyard, sitting on a couple of pieces of metal tubing, and not really securely nailed down. So anytime it gets a little breezy around here, it turns the antenna. So that does cause a little disconcerting problems for me every once in a while. And I'm having it's kind of interesting. I'm having success commanding the repeater. By the way, Bob, can you see the downlinks? Ron, Am I coming through on the downlink side or just the streaming?
I can see you, Gary, but it's not a very good signal.
Okay, I wouldn't expect it to be terribly good. I'm not really that good into coming in on the streaming either, so pretty hashy about a P3. And Covington Jim, I did see you, just primarily a shadow is about all I got on the streaming. So, and like I said, I can't hardly see anything on the downlink, 1.2 downlink. So, anyway, your turn, Bob, and I'll switch over to the streaming for you, and then you can have your turn. K9PQ, K7H4IB.
Okay, Gary. Well, thank you. And yeah, it's sometimes I guess your ID screen has been clear enough to read, but your video has not been so good. And looking at my video on streaming, it doesn't look so good either. But hopefully, it's better live. Okay, so. I already mentioned no snow up here. I thought I had a comment or two, but I've commented on several things already that people have said. But I'll just repeat that I'm very interested to hear what Mario's experiences are with the digital repeater, and also impressed that he did both the T type and the S2. I'm not familiar with the S2, but I'm going to go Google it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and it'll be interesting to see, for me to find out what his comparisons are. And I guess that's about it for my go around this time. So you can switch it back, Gary, and let's go to James, WU7N. Go ahead, James.
Okay, thank you, Bob. I can hear myself on Echo Link here, so I guess I'm coming through on the repeater readable. The high-low tone is actually an alarm here in my shack, so I'm sorry if that was distracting anybody. I've sent a text message to Lee via Echo Link and haven't gotten a response, so I guess Echo Link is not passing text messages either. I'm very interested in what Lee has found out about digital, because I remember, a year or two ago, I was reading what a guy in France was doing with direct memory access and mapping that to 1080p digital. It sounded very interesting what he was doing. And of course, you had to be able to muddle through some French to understand what he was doing, because that's which website was in. Interested, Lee, in anything that you have on that, because that certainly sounds like a interesting medium to explore. By the way, Bob, your image on the streaming is superb, but I'm not seeing anything on 1.2, just so you know that. I see it's 8:54, so I guess I should make this my 73 round. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Hoping to not get buried in snow yet again tonight, because, man, that would mess up tomorrow's plans. But I guess Mother Nature doesn't care. So I'm going to turn it back to Net Control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Bob, take it away.
Well, thank you, James, and I wish you the best. Based on what you just said, I think Mother Nature must be a cat. She just does what she wants and doesn't really care about what the consequences are for others. Okay, on we go to back up to the top of the list to Jim and 7QO. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob, and 7QO. Well, Bob, I saw you on 1.2, but not particularly good. Usually you come in better on the 1.2. Don't know about the streaming, but don't know what to make of that. If you're kind of bypassing the 70 centimeter input channel, it seems to me we should be seeing you better than that, but so maybe there's another problem at the repeater of which we are unaware. But I saw you okay, so I could tell it's you. I could read your call sign. It's just not like it used to be. But I could actually see myself now. Maybe not well enough to identify myself, but I can tell that my picture is there anyway. I do see the witching hours approaching, so I will say goodnight to everyone. Thanks for participating. Gary, thanks for controlling the television repeater. And good night all. I'll turn it back to you, Bob, K9PQ and 7QO.
Okay, Jim. Well, I think this is very interesting what you're reporting, because you also saw yourself ghosting over the ID when we did it on streaming, and that could have something to do with what's going on here. But anyway, let's move on to Ron and Lee, KD7QKU. This is K9PQ in the WatsNet. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Maybe I picked it up awful quick. K9PQ in the group, KD7QKU. Well, Bob, I saw you on 1.2, and you were just, P5, beautiful picture. And so I don't know what that's all about. But I saw you quite well, just like normal. It was really nice. So I'm going to say 73s, and I'm going to drop it for a second, and then I'll go over to Lee, because I think I jumped in too quick.
Go ahead. Okay, N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. All right, Bob, your stream was just beautiful. Mario was watching that down in San Diego and so forth. Mario checked out. From time to time, he'll check in. I had quite a chat session with him and also Thomas up in Snohomish, off on the side here, so I was a busy guy tonight. Now, strangely, the streaming signal right now from Ron's last session wasn't so good, and I'm not so good as it was before. It seems to be hung up a little bit, and I'm looking at the live stream. So Rob is aware of this. I talked about it on the phone with him, where sometimes it's superior, and sometimes it's not so superior, and it looks like it's frame dropping or something like that, and the codec's not keeping up somehow. Okay, and Mario is going to link our ATB signal in through their repeater so people can see it in Southern California. And also, he says his repeater information is on the QRZ site for him. That's KD6ILO, Kilo Delta 6, India, Lima, Oscar. So this is N7KC. I'm Lee. I'm in Port Angeles. I'm here courtesy of Skype and Ron, KD7QKU, and so I'm done. And now the stream is cleaned up. It looks really good. So it's a matter of it catching up somehow. Back to net.
Thanks, everybody. KD7QKU, I'm clear. Good night.
Okay, I'm glad I checked. I was doubling with Ron. So we did get you, Ron, and I just very quickly checked if I had it, and it turned out you had it. So good night to you both. And yeah, right when you said the stream cleared up for you, it did for me as well, Lee. So I think this is our usual situation where when we have rough signals, the stream gets behind and it takes a while to catch up. Okay, on we go to Gary, K7HYB. Go ahead, Gary.
K9PQ in the group, K7HYB. Well, good evening, all. And, it would be interesting, Lee, if you can still hear us, to maybe integrate Mario into our Skype conversation. station on Saturday for the meeting. I'd be interested to hear what he has to talk about as far as digitizing his repeater is concerned. I've been following a couple of items on eBay that I hope could be used to digitize at least the input for ours. And unfortunately, I didn't strike at the time that I wanted to in order to get the device, and now it's not available anymore. But I'm keeping it open to see if I can find it. Anyway, that's my thought for the 73 round. Good evening, all. Nice chatting with you, and we'll see you all on Wednesday. Just a reminder for everybody, I will not be here starting the 13th of March. I'll be gone for 2 weeks on vacation. We're going on a cruise to the Panama Canal, so we'll see how that works out. And maybe I'll have a few stories to talk about when I get back. Back to you, Dave. Bob, I'm sorry. I'll get it right here. Back to you, Bob, and I'll let you put the wraps on it. K9PQ, K7HYB.
Thanks, Gary. I noticed we're running late here, so I'll just make it very quick. Meeting this Saturday, so everyone that can come, please do. Those that can Skype in. And thank you to the CTAC Repeater Group for allowing us this time to have our nets on their repeater. We appreciate it. And with that, I will say 73 and get out of the way to let other people have the repeater. This is Bob, K9PQ, closing the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net at 9:03. Have a good night, all.
Yeah, I'll shut everything down from here, Ron, or Bob.
Thanks, Gary. K9PQ clear.
K7HYB listening.